Hi, we're on part 4 of the First Animation project. Remember to stay on or go to frame 0 before you start drawing the next object. We'll create the house now, and we need to make a couple of layers nested inside of a folder. Because Moho Debut is a limited version of the software, we don't actually have the option to click here in New Layer and then select a folder. Instead, we're going to have to use the word bone, and you'll learn a lot more about bones later on, but for now, if you choose bone, click this, and then we're going to name that house. This bone is going to serve as a folder for us. The next thing to do is click New Layer again. This time choose Vector, and we'll call this House Body. I can't see what I'm typing. There we go. Now what we need to do is take this layer and drag it inside this house folder, this bone folder. So I'll just hold the left mouse button down and then just stop right over top of this one that has the little bone icon and then let go of the mouse button. What you'll see then is you get a drop down arrow, and you'll see that house body is now indented to the right. It's nested inside there, so it's in the folder. All right, so that's what we're going to start out with, is the body of the house. Now select the draw shape icon over here in Tools and choose the rectangle. We aren't going to need stroke for this, so right here for this tool settings, uncheck auto stroke. Over here in the styles, we're going to change the fill to a black. So I'll click on the white swatch, and then I can just click and drag over to this bottom left corner to get the black and click OK. I'll start out with just a rectangle right here, and then we will reshape it by adding points. So go over here and click on the Add Point tool. Now, one thing you want to have checked is sharp corners, so put a check mark here. And I think the first thing I'm going to do before I start adding points is actually go here to Transform Points and let me just click. I need to click once over here away from this rectangle. I wanted to deactivate all those points that were glowing in red. And take the top two, and I'm going to push them closer together and kind of even across the top here, and then try to build from that and maybe even go a little bit closer together. Let me zoom in. I just wanted to see if I was relatively straight. Everything can be fixed later. All right, again, clicking back on Add Point. Be sure that you have sharp corners checked. And we'll start by, remember, look for the glowing circle before you click with your left mouse button. And then you can observe that you have created a new point here in this shape. And then I'm going to let go. Then the next I will just go right to here, click and hold the left mouse button, and drag it over to about here. I'll go a little further down, pull this up, and go a little further down, pull this over here, a little further down, pull this straight out. Now, keep in mind that this is not an exact science, right? You will probably have a house that looks quite a bit different than mine. Now I'm going to start over here. But you can try and get kind of close. Try and get something that, looks like a spooky house if you can. Because I'm not following any particular template, I am just kind of winging it. And I'm going to go back to Transform Points and try to shape things up a little bit. In fact, I need to zoom in, and I'll pull this down at a little bit of an angle here. Part of this is going to get hidden. Okay, so you can make more adjustments a little bit later on or after you pause the video. But what we need to do is put this house one layer back behind this grass. Oh, I didn't mean to pull that. I'll just do Control Z, snap that back into place. Now we need to move this behind the grass. Click on the little down arrow to close up everything, and then click and hold the left mouse button down. Drag until you see the line that shows up between grass and clouds or whatever you have below grass there, and let go of the mouse button. What you want to end up with is that you've got the grass in front of the house. Now click again on this arrow and then click on house body. We're going to create one more layer for the windows. Click new layer, choose vector and type windows. Go to the tools and click on draw shape and click on the rectangle and choose a yellow or orange, something kind of bright. And over here in front of this silhouette of a house, try and draw something like a door, and then add several windows. And you want them to be perhaps some of them can be different sizes and some can match. Might have a little attic window here, and maybe I'll put one more here. And now we're going to round the tops of the windows. I'll zoom in so that you can see this a little bit better. Over here to Tools, click on the Add Point tool. Now uncheck Sharp Corners, and then at the top here of the window, when you see your glowing dot, put it about center. Hold your left mouse button down and pull up. All right, do that with all or some of your windows. And then we're going to make one more adjustment in terms of rounding them a little better. Over to the tools, there's a tool here called curvature. Click on that icon. And then point over top of one of the points here where you created that little arc. Hold your left mouse button down and pull, and I'm pulling to the right. You see, and if I go to the left, it gets sharper. So I'm pulling to the right, and what I want to do is just click on the little points up here and round out the tops of my windows so they look a little bit better. Okay? I'll pause now and continue in the next video.